In this lecture, we're going to add a search form which will appear somewhere here on top, where users will be able to type in whatever title they want to search the news, okay, and we will display those news. So we can create that form here. So inside this render method, we have the news title, and here let's write this form, and this is going to have the input field with the type of text, okay, and then the value, we need to set the value, okay, and on change we need to execute some method, okay, and we're also going to have a button, and we're going to call it search. Okay, so let's begin working on a handle change method. So on change, we want to execute this handle change. So whenever user types something in, we will grab that and populate this state. Okay, so on change, let's call it handle change. Okay, and we can use this handle change method here. Let's write here handle change. Make sure it is a constant. Okay, so we grab the event. Okay, so this handle change method will get the event target value. So whatever user is typing in, we can grab that value and populate in the state. So we can grab that value from the state, and based on that we can fetch the news. Okay, so that means we need one more state here. Okay, so let's create one more state. We can call it search query. Okay, and the method will be set search query. Okay, and use state, and the default value we can give a React. Okay, so by default the search query will be React, but if user is typing something in, then that will be the search query. Okay, so on handle change we can use that method set search query. Okay, and we give the value. By default it's React, but when there is a handle change, this is going to update with event target value. Okay, so this way, based on user input, we can update the state. Now, not only that, we don't want to just update the state. The whole point of having this in the state is so that we can use this. So we can replace this React, the hard-coded value, with the search query. Okay, so by default it will be React, but if user is typing something in, that will be here. Beautiful, right? So let's copy this URL and let's put it inside template strings so that I can embed a variable here, search query. Okay, so we fetch the news based on the search query, which will be coming from the user input, and this fetch news runs on use effect, and use effect runs when the component mounts and whenever there is a state change. Okay, so save this file and let's make sure this is an arrow function. Beautiful. Okay, so let's give it a try. Okay, so value, we haven't set the value yet, so the value will be search query, right? Now let's give it a try. Okay, so we have all the news based on React by default, but let's try PHP. Let's try. Okay, and you can see it's rendering quite a lot, multiple times. If you type Redux, okay, so it's happening quite a lot. Something's not right. So what is actually happening here is this use effect, it runs when the component mounts and whenever there is any change. So what we really need to do is we want to control its behavior. What we want to do is we want to make sure that this use effect runs only when there is a change in the search query. So if the user is typing something in, then the search query will be changing, right? So only when that happens, run this, otherwise don't run. Okay, you can do that passing the second argument here. So as you can see, this use effect method, this takes this function as an argument. So this is the first argument. Okay, and the second argument you can write here like comma separate, and you can write an array, and inside this array you define when something happens you want to run this use effect. Now in this case I want to run this use effect only when the search query changes. Okay, so you can put the search query here. Okay, so this way you control the behavior of use effect, how it runs. Okay, now save this file and come back here. Now let's try Redux, and as you can see, it is rendering pretty well. Okay, so let's type PSP. As you can see, everything's happening in real time. Laravel. Okay, as you can see, it's beautiful. Now we can even go one step further and improve our application. At the moment, it's all happening in real time. So basically, we are making a lot of requests. On each user input, we are making a request. You might not want that behavior. You might want to fetch the data only when the search button is hit. So at the moment, when you hit, it just reloads the page. We need to obviously work on that. Okay, so how are we going to do that? You will see how we can do that in the next lecture. Thank you.